This conference will now be recorded.
Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Can anyone please confirm that my voice is audible and you can see my screen?
Yes, your voice is audible.
Thank you for the confirmation. So, I would request you to ping your name and WhatsApp number in this meeting chat so that it will be helpful for us uh, to send further communication related to the course. The document related to the course will be sent it via your WhatsApp number. So, could you please update your information there? I'd request if you're not talking or if you don't have any query, could you please go on mute? I request everyone. Thank you for the joinees whoever has pinged their contact details. Let me request again. I request
దయచేసి
everyone.
సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకోండి ఇలాంటి సినిమాలు ఇంకా వస్తాయి.
Paraprasad, if you don't mind, can I
సబ్స్క్రైబ్ చేసుకుంటే ఈ సినిమా పెట్టినోడు ఇంకా
okay, Varaprasad, I put you on mute. If you need any further details, you can unmute yourself and you can ask your query. I'll give few more minutes for everyone to ping your name and WhatsApp number to send the course content document. Thank you for sharing your details. This message is again for those who have joined now. I request you to ping your name and your WhatsApp number in the chat, in the meeting chat, so that our team will send the course content details, the document in your WhatsApp number. I'll give 2 more minutes, then we'll start our demo session. Okay, thanks for whoever has sent that name and the contact information to me privately. Thank you. Last 1 more minute. If you can ping your detail, I'll collect and I will share it with my team so that they will share the content, the course related details to your WhatsApp number. Okay. So thank you everyone. Thanks for joining. And let me introduce myself. I'll be your trainer for this Azure with the DevOps training. And I hope my screen is visible to you. So today I'll be explaining about like what are the things we are going to cover as part of this Azure program. So I hope my voice is audible and my screen is also visible. If you face any challenge, do let me know. You can very well inform me, and any queries we can clarify. And this is the program meant for the Azure uh, journey. Okay, so give me a minute. Still, few more students are pinging their details. Just give me a minute. Okay, okay. Uh, I got only the name. If you ping the number, also would be fine. For one of the student. Okay, so whoever missed to send it, you can send it in the chat. I will collect later and I will share it with the team. So very first thing, okay, this is the way, my way of a training student. So let me show what you are going to see in the next 45 days, because this is a Azure journey, I would say. We will be doing all those things related in a portal only. So unlike other places, here we don't think that only a PPT will help you, because especially I'm the one who strongly believes that you need the real time experience, you need the real hands on experience, then only you can say that you are a Azure person. So I always prefer in that. So I believe most of the students are available now. So let me introduce myself. I'm UB. I'm having more than 16 plus of years of experience in the IT, including the development aspects, and I'm a multi-cloud architect. So I have a real-time experience in designing, building, and implementing solutions of different sizes of cloud migrations. So multi-cloud in the sense like I'm a person who worked on Azure, AWS, and GCP, all three public clouds, and I work on the private cloud also. So this is my quick introduction. And in this course, what we are going to do, that is our next step, like how we are going to achieve what we are going to achieve. So that will be the main thing. I would say that we have to concentrate. So very first thing I would say that what we will be covering. So it's mainly as I said, like Azure with DevOps, if I say, I hope my screen is visible to you, my portal screen. Okay. So throughout this journey, you will be seeing this screen daily for sure. So this is the Azure portal screen, and this is your Azure DevOps screen. So these two screen for sure you will be seeing, like it's not like you will see only the MS Office related contents, that is not just a Word document or a PPT or a Excel. Our work will be here, because for every topic, like I'm going to walk through the course content. So what are the course content I'm telling you, right? I would say that most of them, or I would say like more than 90% of them would be a real-time demo. I'll be taking one use case related to the topic, and I'll be demonstrating that here, starting from a small virtual machine creation. First of all, I'll tell what is virtual machine, because I know very well that most of you would be from a non-cloud background, or some of them may be from non-IT background also. This course content is built in such a way that there is no prerequisite required here, because usually when you appear for any course, the main thing they will say that when you go for a DevOps, they will say you should have a basic knowledge of Azure. you should have a basic knowledge of cloud. But here, what we are going to do is I'll be explaining from the start. That is, I'll be doing a icebreak session related to what is cloud. Then slowly I'll be making you comfortable with cloud. Then what is Azure? Then what is Azure cloud? Then once you're comfortable with Azure cloud, then we will be stepping onto the DevOps. This is how our journey would be there. So this 45 hours we covered in such a way that by keeping trainees or the students from different background. So you might be from a testing background and you want to switch to a uh, cloud engineer or a DevOps engineer, or you might be a student now or you want to enter the industry in the cloud background, or you might be a developer now and you want to project yourself as a cloud architect. So different roles would be there, different students would be there. So in this course, we are covering all set of students because here we are covering from start to the master level, that is from your basics to the master. If you are not from a cloud background, also no problem. We will be explaining, that is, I will be explaining about all this concept with the real time scenarios. It is not like a theoretical one, like where I'll be projecting a PPT and I'll be explaining like the definition of cloud, definition of this. No. What you will do in your real time, how you do in the real time, that is how I'm going to take it out. Because I strongly believe that if you understand, then it will remain in your mind forever, especially the concept like cloud and all. If you understand only, you can use it in your real time. That is the main reason I always do most of the explanation from the portal. Why I'm doing this is more than explaining from any document. If you see this, you can easily understand, oh, this is how I have to do. This is the reason I need this. So if you know the purpose, if you know how to do it, then you will do it in your organization or in your interview sessions or in your certification. So any of these things may be a goal. Like you might want to clear an interview, or you might want to use it in your day to day. Like you might be already in a cloud, but you don't know how to use it. Yes, by seeing the demos which I'm going to demonstrate, you can do. Or you might be planning for a certification. So if you know the core concept, then your certification preparation will be very easy. You can very well do this study and you can go for the certification. The concept is very important. If you know the concept, either to crack the interview or to crack your certification exam, it will be really helpful. That is the reason we always believe in this real time scenarios demonstration instead of telling something like there will be something called virtual machine. In this virtual machine there are different families are there, so this is the family. So it won't be like that. So two things you will see, that is you will see the portal, at the same time what are all the documentation you need to clear your certifications or to have some basic understanding, the theoretical understanding. Both the things will be covered. So I'll be showing both the things. That is, I'll be having few explanations related to this concept in a theoretical way. Immediately I'll be jumping on to the portal only. So this is the portal. So this is a place where you will be doing all your day-to-day activities. This is the Azure portal. Once you're done, like um, all this demonstrations related to the course content, which I'm going to walk through now, then we will be working on this. This is the Azure DevOps portal. So here you will create your organization projects, your CI/CD pipelines, boards, everything will be here. Then we have our Terraform also, because DevOps means now the scripting. The infrastructure as a code is one of the important. So all these three main pillars will be covered as part of this journey. So this is the overall summary. So with no delay, let me walk you through the course content. So what we are going to do in this code, how we are going to do, let me explain that related to the course content. So just give me a minute, I'll share you the course content. So again, I'm requesting the students who have joined now, please ping your name and contact detail, your WhatsApp number actually. So our team will be sending you the information related to this code. The course documentation will be sent to you. So I request to the students who have joined late, so please ping your WhatsApp number and your name in this meeting chat itself. I'm sharing the document. Just give me a minute. I hope my document is visible. So this course content is designed for 45 hours. So the daily timing would be 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. IST. So we have a course for the weekdays, that is Monday to Friday. So excluding any holiday or those things will be informed in prior. Otherwise, it's a regular timing, 9 to 10 p.m. IST. Okay, so here I would like to break this course into three different blocks. That is, first thing is like Azure Cloud. Next would be your Azure DevOps and your infrastructure as a course. Because when you appear for an interview or when you go for anything related to Azure, these three are the main pillars. Okay, you will be asked related to, it can be a cloud engineer role, or it can be your developer associate role, cloud developer, or it can be your DevOps engineer role, or a cloud architect. So wherever you go, all these questions will be related to the topics which you are going to cover. So for that, what we have done is we have starting from the very basic thing, that is cloud computing. Because by keeping all students in mind, it's not like everybody will be aware of cloud computing. There are some cases some student might be from a non-cloud, like they don't know what is cloud at all. So by keeping all the students in mind, we are covering from the scratch. That is, we will be explaining what is cloud computing, because at this end of this course you can very well appear for the certification AZ 900. So most of the topics we will be covering related to the AZ 900 course curriculum. So what are all the topics that needs to be covered related to AZ 900 will be covered here. So first would be your cloud computing. So I'll be explaining like what is cloud computing, why we need it, what are the different models we have. Because I myself, when I was introducing, I was telling, right, I know private cloud, I know public cloud. So you should know the difference between all these things. So for that, we will be discussing all those things here. And main important thing is security. So when you go to cloud, people will ask these questions like how my application will it be secured, how it perform and all. So for that, some basic understanding is there. It's not like the cloud provider will take everything, they will do everything. So in our case, cloud provider is nothing but the person or the company who is providing the cloud. So in our journey, we will be discussing about Microsoft. Okay, Azure is the one who is going to provide the cloud, which we are going to study. So there are other competitors also in the market like Amazon, the AWS is there, Google, GCP is there. So many other options are there. But in the beginning few days, what are concept I'm going to cover related to cloud computing, the very first chapter will be common. So it is, I would say that if you learn here, you can very well apply this concept for the other cloud providers also, because the cloud concepts are same. How we are going to use it, what are the methods are available, what are the process available between these three cloud providers, that is Azure, AWS, and GCP is the difference, but the basic cloud computing concept is same. So I would say that if you understand this cloud computing, it's a one-time investment. You can use it for your further cloud journey in other providers also. So here we will be discussing about all this aspect, and it's not only the pros, the cons also. What is the disadvantage of this cloud also we'll be discussing, because it's not like always a happy path, right? Here and there will be some challenges, because all these things would be a real-time experience sharing, like what and all challenges I have faced as part of my cloud journey, any migration program or any transformation things or app modernization. What are the challenges I as a cloud person face, that and all I'm going to share with you, the real time scenarios. Because when you go for an interview, it is not like when you explain about the concept, it's not about like telling the definition of the question. If you give some real time examples, that is the more added thing in your evaluation, your interview evaluation. So I'll be sharing all this real time challenges, like what are all the issues you can expect in that particular use case, and how you can come out of that, like how you can solve it. The problem statement also we are going to discuss. So this would be your cloud computing. And next would be like, once you are comfortable with the cloud concept, then we will be jumping on to the Azure. So I was telling cloud means varieties are there, okay? Different types are there: private cloud, public cloud, hybrid cloud. So many options are there. So in that, what Azure is going to do? Why Azure is famous in the market? Why Azure? Why not others? Like other competitors are also there, right? Why we have to go with the Azure path? So those things and all we will be discussing in this introduction to Azure section. Then we will be jumping into the actual portal. So I would say that first 2 3 classes would be little related to a presentation mode, because first of all I have to tell you what is cloud, what is Azure, right? Those things and all will be your PowerPoint presentations or any MS Office related presentations would be there. But once we are comfortable, once we jump into the chapter 3, it will be your portal journey. I was showing that Azure portal, right? So the same portal we will be using. So I'll be starting from account creation. So how you can create your account. If you are a new person to Azure, how you can get your free trial version, 1 month trial, how you can get it, how you can effectively utilize it, how you can calculate the cost. Because when you go for a trial version, there are some limitation, that is specific credits only you can use. So how you can efficiently use the credit points to cover the entire training course, right? To do all this 45 hours of training, how you can effectively use it, when you can actually start creating your account, how you can practice. So those things and all we will be discussing in the getting started with Azure section. So here we will be creating an account, and I'll be supporting you on account creation, your own free trial account you can create, and how you can use it, how you can create your very first virtual machine. So these are the things we will be covering in the getting started with Azure. Then the main backbone, I would say, not only in this compute, not only in this Azure, wherever you go, the main pillar of your cloud journey would be a compute. So why we are going for cloud? You need an infrastructure. Infrastructure is nothing but you have your laptop, you have your desktop, right? If you have a laptop, if you have a desktop, then only you can install a software. Say you want to install a software in your laptop, you want to play a video game, for example, you want to uh, explore a video game, newly you purchased it. So somewhere you have to install it, right? Where you will install? Nowadays, all web versions are available. If web version is not available, somewhere like desktop version only you got it, means obviously you want to install it in a infrastructure, right? So that infrastructure would be your compute. So in our cases, in a day-to-day life, what we will do? We will use our own laptop, we will use our own tab or something, like you will download the software from the Play Store and you will install in your machine. So you will do it, right? So similarly, compute is the one which is going to give you the infrastructure for your application deployment, for your software deployment, whatever your organization is in need, that you are going to do in the compute. There are n number of options available in Azure. That is the reason people are rushing towards Azure, because whether you want a server based one, yes, there is an option. Whether you want a serverless option, yes, Azure is providing that. You're looking for a container based one, there are options. You're looking for something related to Kubernetes, lot of options are available. So we are going to see what are the different types of compute option Azure is providing, in that what I can choose, what are all my organization requirement, what is the cost related to that, those things and all we are going to discuss in the compute area. Next thing, in the compute there are so many options, right? But most of your organization, without this you won't run your project, that is called virtual machine. So we are going to do a deep dive on the virtual machine compute service. We will be knowing like what are the different ways we can create a virtual machine, what are the different models are there, different sizes, image creations, or what are the troubleshooting steps we have. If I created a virtual machine, fine, that anybody can tell you the happy path. But once you create a virtual machine, obviously you will have lot of issues available. So what are the different type of issues you will get? For each issue, what are the step I can take to solve the problem? The troubleshooting journey, we are going to deep dive in the virtual machine criteria. So we will take this as an example. We'll create a virtual machine. In that, what are the different ways I can troubleshoot? Say, for example, I forgot my password for the virtual machine. What can I do? I want to run a script. How can I do it? I know my password, but somehow it is not booting up. How can I troubleshoot? So those things and all, we are going to deep dive in the virtual machines. So if you have a script, how to execute. If you have an extension, how to use it. So those things will be covered in the chapter 5. Next thing is, every one of you would be using it. Like if you are using a Google, your Android based phone, you will have your Google Drive concept, right? If you are using iPhone, yes, you have your cloud storage. So storage is a very important thing nowadays, because everything is data. I always use this term, that is, everything is data. Whatever I'm talking to you, it's a data. Whatever you are viewing in my screen, it's a data. So all these data should be stored somewhere, should be preserved somewhere. So how we can store the data? It is not like all data can be handled in the same manner, because some data should be available for the easy access. Some data I may not even use it. Maybe let's take some example. Like I have few photos which I have taken 10 years back. I want to keep it somewhere, but I won't see it on a daily basis. But I want to keep it, store it somewhere. So if I store it in a different places, cloud is going to charge me differently. That is, if I want immediately, then there is an option. If I want to see it after one day, if I want to see it after few hours, there are different storage costs associated with that. So I'm going to deep dive on that. What are the different storage options available? To save a photo, what option I can use? To save a video, what option I can use? To store my application data, what option I can use? So why I'm saying what option? Can't I store everything in the same place? Yes, you can store everything in the same place, but there are some costs related to it. So how efficiently we can use the Azure storage, so that I will have my data, at the same time I'll be charged less. Why I'm going to deep dive here is, when you are going to perform the role of architect, it is not like knowing the functionality of the cloud. You should know how efficiently you use the cloud. Then only you can prove yourself in your organization. That is, I know you are using storage, but these are the steps you can follow. If you follow this best practices, you can reduce your cost. This is the expectation of an architect. So I'll be covering that areas also. It is not only I make you comfortable with the functionality of Azure, the services in Azure, I'm going to make you comfortable with how efficiently you can use, so that it will add more value to your enterprise applications in your organization. If you're placed as a cloud engineer, these are the expectation. Next, how you can manage your disk. If you are configuring something for a production environment, it is different. So I'll be explaining you what is production and non-production also, because maybe some of you not from IT background means you may not know this. Say for example, you are using something for your old training purpose, for any small project, your college project and all, you can have different disk management. If you are using this disk for your enterprise application, for your company, for a real-time users, where like thousands users or 10,000 users or millions of users are using it, In that case, you cannot follow the same practice because you are doing something for your own learning and training. That can be different, but you are going to expose this URL to a million of users, then it has to be handled differently. So we will be understanding the management of disk for a production environment and your normal non-production kind of thing. And what are the different flavors I have? Then I can go for a SST, HTT and all. So first I will tell what is SST and HTT in our chapter 8. Then I'll give you a comparison of all these three things. When I can go for it, when I go for it, what are the pros, what are the cons I will have. So as an architect, how can I select? So every chapter will be starting from a beginner level to advanced. That is, first for a cloud engineer, what and all you're supposed to learn, that I will cover. Then for an architect, what are all you have to understand. So that also we will be covering in the chapter 8. Storage account, you in the chapter 9, again, what are the different options I have? How can I create one image and how can I use for the future, like a replica kind of thing. It's simple, like you have a copy of something and you can replicate in a different places, right? So that image concept and all we are going to discuss in the storage account. And chapter 10 would be very important thing, especially when you are a cloud person. If you say that I'm a cloud person, you should know the networking concept. So for that, you one important thing in cloud is you don't need to be a master in network. Like usually when you work, if you are from a already working background, IT background, you'll have different people, right? You'll have somebody called security person, you'll have somebody called network person, system admin. So many roles should be there. These people will be the subject matter expert and they will know in and out around everything, and they will have n number of tools, and they should know all these tools, how to use the tools, scripts, commands, everything they should know, right? But in Azure, it's a user friendly platform. You don't need to be master. If you know how to handle few things, you can very well understand this concept and you can use it in your day to day things also. Because let me take one simple example. Say for example, this is my portal. So if I want to create something, everything is a user friendly here. So the navigations will be user for everything. There will be document related to it. So if I want to create a virtual machine, it will help me. I don't need to be a subject matter expert here. If I don't know anything, there will be a information icon next to it. So it is going to tell me what it is. How can I use it? So wherever it is possible, it is going to give me a drop down also. So with this easy navigations, you can easily do it. The only thing is you should spend some basic things, like basic understanding you should have. Then you can very well go ahead with your networking concepts. So I'll be covering most of them frequently used network concepts here. It can be your VNet, it can be your network security group, your firewalls, load balancer, traffic manager, so key management things. So these are the things we widely used in terms of networking. So those and all we'll be covering in this Azure networking concept. Next thing is data management. So different pillars we are taking. First, compute we have covered, then storage we have covered, networking. The next would be your database. So again, in your on-premises, you have something called DBA. Data management would be done by a different person. But here in Azure, if you know like how to do the queries related to that, like if you are a developer who knows this queries and all, yes, we can very well do. So on a higher level, we will be seeing what are the different options available for me. How can I handle my SQL, and like there are different concepts are there, like infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So in my first week, I'll be covering these cloud concepts. So in these three categories, what are the options available, I'm going to explain in the database section. So first, I let me clear again and again, because I'll be make you comfortable with the cloud concept first. What is this infrastructure as a service, PaaS service, SaaS service? This and all would have heard it, but what is this in a real time? I'll be explaining with, like, comparing with the day-to-day examples. So then I will tell you that for infrastructure as a service in database, these are the options available. For a platform as a service, these are the options available. For database as a service, these are the options available. So I'll be comparing in the chapter 12. But in the chapter 1 and 2, I make you comfortable with the cloud concept, the frequently used cloud terminologies. So those keywords and all we will discuss in the first week itself. And next main thing is governance. So when you are going to perform as a cloud engineer, you should follow some policies, like especially when you placed as a engineer in an organization, the organization will have some policy, some security rules you have to follow. So those things, the compliance options, those and all, I'll be explaining, because this is mainly needed for the infra person. So if you are the admin, cloud admin, then you should know this concept. So not only in this cloud admin, if you are planning for AZ 900 certification, this will be one of the important topic. So I'll be covering that. It's related to your policies, how you can calculate the price. Like I was showing one virtual machine creation, right? So how you will calculate the price of that particular machine. So if I use a virtual machine for 1 month, how much I'll be charged, I will be knowing upfront. Like I don't need to wait for 1 month to get my bill. On the very first day itself, I can do the calculation, and I'll come to know that I'll be end up in paying this much of amount. So the price calculator and all, I'll be deep diving. So you will understand the concept. Next thing is monitoring. So it was a different task in on premises, that is monitoring your environment. You have some different tools to monitor your environment and send some alerts and all. But in Azure, everything in the same page itself, you are going to see the portal which I've shown, right? Azure portal, the same screen, you are going to see the monitoring features, how you can monitor your infrastructure, and how you can alert some set of people. Say for example, you have exceeded some a number of usage, it can be your cost or anything. You want to inform your supervisor, you want to inform your account team. Yes, you don't need to wait and watch every day. If you set the alert, it is automatically going to monitor your environment, and it is automatically going to inform the related people. So monitoring feature we are going to discuss. And topic number 15, I would say it's a important topic, because when you go for any interview, they will surely ask this question: were you part of any migration program? Do you know how to migrate it? Can you tell me what is the option available in Azure? So these things we are going to discuss here, and I'm going to demonstrate the DB migration also. From on-premises, we will take few tables and we will migrate to the Azure SQL. So that I'll be demonstrating in the Azure migrate session. So what are the different options available? How you will do a discovery? Those things and all I will tell you. At the same time, demonstration wise, I'll be demonstrating the DB migration. And next thing is security aspect. So cloud means people will have fear that whether my application or my company related information will be secured or not. It will be secured. How it can be secured, I am going to discuss in terms of your network security groups, the rules, inbound outbound rules we are going to set and see. And role based access control we are going to see. And your active directory, so how you can create a user. So I'll be demonstrating on the user creation, group creation, role creations. So those things and all, I'll be creating and showing you in the security. So it will be a demo. So till this point, it will be a overall summary related to the Azure concepts. Okay, once you are comfortable with the Azure, like I covered all the main pillars of the Azure portal, then we will be deep dive on the DevOps, because DevOps people will think that it's a separate topic. But if you ask me personally, if you know what are all the Azure services or the resources available, then only as a DevOps engineer you can create those resources, right? Without having any knowledge about Azure, how you can create the resource? So if you want to be a cloud DevOps engineer, then you should know the Azure concept, what is virtual machine, what is storage account. So if you know this, then being a Azure DevOps person, you can very well create those resources. You can very well go for the CI/CD pipelines and all. So first, as usual, I'll be explain about what is DevOps, because immediately we cannot jump into the Azure DevOps, right? You should know what is DevOps, because DevOps is not the one which is tagged only to Azure. It is there in the on-premises also. So we will be deep diving what is DevOps, what is CI, what is CD, because you would have heard it in the market, continuous integration, deployment. So first of all, we will have an understanding about what is this DevOps. Then what is DevOps related to Azure. So Azure DevOps means what are the things we have. So during this, I'll be using this portal. I hope my screen is visible. So this is the place we will be creating new organization, we'll be creating new projects. What is public project, what is private project, when I can go for a public project creation, when I can go for a private project creation. So if I create a project as public, what are the things will be available. If I create my project as private, what are the options, like how can I secure, like why I am going for it. All these things we can discuss. And what are the services I will be having related to an organization. So how can I secure my organization, how can I deals with the boards, my Azure boards, like you can create the defects managements, everything you can do here. And your pipelines, so CI/CD pipelines in CI, what and all I can do, how can I do the CI using a classic editor or a script based one, how can I do. So those and all will be discussing here. And your repository management, so what is Git, how to use a Git for the repository managements, those and all we will be seeing. So on a higher level, we will have the deep dive informations about your organization, your projects, your teams, in the boards, lot of things. Because if you are a PMO, if you are from the management background, then you should know about this Azure board, because here you are going to create your project related, the tracking information, any new um, requirement you have, any new user story you are creating, any new feature you are creating, any task is there, any defect is there, everything you are going to manage in this. So if your organization is following a agile based one or a scrum based project type, so what are the ways you can add it. So I'm going to explain everything here. And repository wise, how you can, so if you are a developer, if you are from a development background, then you will be in need of this. Not only a developer, if you are a tester also, you might be keeping some of your test scripts and all in the repositories. So any version control if you want to use, like Git is an option we are going to take and deep dive here. So how you can clone a new repository, how you can handle the branches, how you can add a file into your repository, what is remote repository, what is local repository, how you can commit your changes, how you can pull your file from the remote repository, how you can push it. So three ways we are going to deep dive in the repository. That is, first thing is using Git commands. I'll be explaining you what are the different commands would be there. Using the tool called Tortoise Git, how you can do, and using the Visual Studio. So these three are the three famous options used in the market. You might be from a development background, testing background, or the system admin. So any of these three options for sure you will use it. So I covered all the three options in the course content. Next, pipeline. So pipeline, as I said, CI and CD, your continuous integration. Build pipeline would be there, your release pipeline would be there. So in build pipeline, how you will do with a YAML option or a classic editor option, we are going to see. And unit test integration also we are going to see here. And in terms of release pipeline, how you can promote your code, okay, once it is compiled, how you can promote into a development environment, into a UAT environment. So different environment, how you can do different stages, how you can do, what are the approval process you can follow, how you can enable the approval process. And if you want more than one in development in a same thing, like in a development environment itself, you want to do two deployment, how you can do, what is blue green deployment. So those and all we are going to see it in the pipeline. So till this point, it's related to Azure DevOps services. And finally, we have the infrastructure as a code. This is the ask of most of the DevOps engineers. That is, I know how to create two portal. If you say like that, then the very next question is, don't you know scripting? So to avoid it, we are covering the infrastructure as a service also. So related to different aspect are there, like you can provision infrastructure through portal. We are going to deep dive in the first of few, that is in the first sections itself. Then using the ARM template, okay, Azure Resource Manager template, how you can do, using PowerShell, how you can do, using Bash, how you can do, using Terraform, how you can create your virtual machine. So these are the aspect in the market for a DevOps engineer. So we are covering all these aspect here. And so here everything would be a, I'll be demonstrating you how to create your virtual machine using commands. So you can very well see how efficiently you can use a Azure help option, or this documentation also I'm going to tell, because Azure is supporting everything. It's user friendly. A lot of documentations are there, so you don't need to be master in all this scripting. You don't need to memorize all the commands. For everything, there are online options are available. So how you can get those resources, how you can do this, I'm going to give you the tips and tricks related to that. And finally, related to the certification, I'll be discussing few sample questions related to the AZ 900 also, because you will get an idea what are the questions you can expect in the certification, and how you can utilize for your day-to-day things, like those and all, with the real-time examples I'm going to discuss with you. Okay, so this is the overall course content, I would say. Any question you can very well ask me. Again, I'm
Madam, are you going
reiterating
to
here.